Good morning, good morning. My name is Caroline Fox. I'm the commander of Post 133 Frederickstead, and I'll be your mistress of ceremony this morning. Again, Veterans Day is celebrated throughout the year, throughout the nation, and is one of the many holidays served veterans are appreciated, to show the veterans appreciation. Now we'll stand and have the invocation by Comrade George Thurland and from Post 85. Legionnaires on cover.
Good morning. Almighty God, creator of all that has been, that is, and still to come, be with us. We pray as we meet as comrades and friends of the American Legion. Be with us as we meet our commitments as members of this great organization. Keep our hearts and our minds as we work together for you, our God, and our country. Amen.
National Anthem and Virgin Island March by the 73rd Army Band. Colors. Okay, you'll join me now in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll now have the POW MIA Memorial Tribute by Segundino Roman Cruz, our Air Vice Commander, Department of Puerto Rico, and another comrade, Comrade Gail Johnson, will be posting the cover and the chair for the POW MIA, and it's going to be done to the right.
Good morning, everyone. A POWMI, a empty chair is placed at all official meetings of the American Legion as a physical symbol of many Americans' POWMIAs still unaccounted for from all wars and conflicts involving the United States of America. This is a reminder for all of us to spare no effort to secure the release of any American prisoners from captivity, the repatriation of the remains of those who died bravely in defense of liberty, and a full accounting of those missing. Let us rededicate ourselves to this vital endeavor. Please place the POWMIA flag on the empty chair.
Legionnaires cover. Now I'd like to introduce Mr. Patrick Farrell, Director of Veterans Affairs, for the welcoming and introduction of the platform guests.
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant good morning. Just a little bit of housekeeping rules before I establish protocol. I know it's a little warm this morning, so we have a couple coolers in the rear of the tent where the audience is sitting with some cold water there. Please feel free to hydrate. Please hydrate, all right? It's a little warm. We just ask that you don't crowd the coolers to create a distraction while you are doing so. So, if you will, please allow me to establish protocol for this morning's event. Of course, we have with us the esteemed Lieutenant Governor of the Virgin Islands, Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach Esquire. And I am going to ask that you, if you please, because there's so much that we will introduce, please hold your applause until the end, and we'll then give that signal for you to have your applause at the time. Of course, we also have with us Delegate Stacy E. Plaskett, Delegate to Congress for the Virgin Islands. We also have members of the 34th Legislature, but we have with us on stage the Vice President of the 34th Legislature, Senator Novell E. Francis. And we have other legislators in the audience. Can you please stand? I see Senator Johnson. I see Senator Whitaker. I see Senator Marvin Blyden, of course, Boy Blue. Did I miss anyone? Okay, thank you. We also have members of the Governor's Cabinet. I see the Adjutant General, Director of BIT, Director of VITEMA, Director of the Lottery, Commissioner of DLCA. Of course, I call him Rick, Commissioner Evangelista. Did I miss any more of my counterparts? And of course, thank you for your support, as always, Cabinet members. We also have the Civilian Aide to the Secretary of the Army, Mr. Beresford Edwards. Please stand, sir. Thank you. We also have our esteemed honoree, and I'll allow you to give him a round of applause at this time, Mr. Angel Diaz Jr. We have the St. Croix administrator with us, Administrator Samuel Sanes. We also have members of the American Legion here with us. You will see them off to my right there to the rear as well. We have half of the pillars of the Office of Veterans Affairs. Ladies and gentlemen, you know there's a couple things that you do not do before you, if you want to be able to eat and rest good at night, right? You recognize your staff, and you always recognize your significant other or wife. Is that correct? So, those of you that listen to the Veterans Voice on Tuesday evenings, you'll know I always talk about the pillars of the Office of Veterans Affairs. They are the ones that keep the office up and above ground and continue to assist our veterans. I'm just the face of the agency. So I'd like to introduce to you Miss Hewitt and Miss Gordon right there in those nice orange polo shirts. Thank you, ladies, for what you do each and every day. And I have the opportunity to, because I introduce folks, I'm the one that always miss somebody. Did I miss anybody? Yes. Of course, I'd like to say hello to our former delegate to Congress, Donna Christensen. Hi, how are you, ma'am? Good to see you. All right, so I think I've gotten everybody. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have an awesome ceremony this morning. And, of course, we honoring an awesome individual for his service. But, of course, we'll talk about that a little bit later on in the program. Please allow me to say, though, the St. Croix Educational Complex, headed by Senior Instructor Colonel Eddie Charles, awesome job. Thank you. I know you guys are not physically in school just yet, but you look like you are, and you continue to do great things. So thank you so very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I will now allow the program to move on. Thank you.
We'll have the reading of the Veterans Day Proclamation by the St. Croix Educational Complex, Junior ROTC.
Good morning. I will be reading the proclamation for Veterans Day. A proclamation. Whereas each year on November 11th, we pause to express our respect and gratitude for the millions of men and women who have served our nation as members of the United States Armed Forces. And whereas November 11th, also known as Armistice Day, a day dedicated to peace, is a fitting day to honor those who have kept our nation strong and our freedom secure. And whereas America's veterans have been steadfast guardians of peace and liberty, not only here at home, but also around the world. And whereas the citizens of our nation and the territory continue to live in their freedom because of the sacrifices made by those who served in the armed forces of the United States in time of national peril. And whereas this year, we continue paying tribute to the thousands of veterans in the U.S. Virgin Islands who, by their continued devotion to the highest ideals of patriotism and citizenship, constitute a foundation of both strength and progress in the territory. And whereas it is a privilege and in the best interest of the Virgin Islands and the nation that we express our gratitude to our veterans whose sacrifices serve as constant reminders of the high price of liberty. And whereas the Virgin Islands community also joins in grateful thanks to the men of the United States Armed Forces and the Virgin Islands National Guard as we salute them for their dedicated, loyal, and devoted service to our citizens and community. Now, therefore, I, Albert Bryan Jr., Governor of the United States Virgin Islands, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Revised Organic Act of 1954, as amended, do hereby proclaim Thursday, November 11th, 2021, as Veterans Day, and the month of November as Military Families Month in the U.S. Virgin Islands to honor and encourage our sacrifices of the men and women who have served and those who are serving proudly in our armed forces, and to salute our own U.S. Virgin Islands veterans. I urge all citizens to remember the sacrifices and contributions of all those who, when called upon to do so, serve this nation honorably in wartime, to preserve our heritage of freedom, to rededicate ourselves to the task of preserving world peace as the most profound reward which we might bestow upon our veterans. In witness whereof, I hereunto set my hand and cause the seal of the government of the United States Virgin Islands to be affixed at Charlotte Amalie, St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, this 22nd day of October, AD 2021. Thank you.
You could give a round of applause. We can clap. It's a ceremony celebration of veterans, all of us. Next, we'll have remarks by the Honorable Novell E. Francis, Jr., Vice President, 34th Legislature of the Virgin Islands.
Thank you very much, Mistress of Ceremony, Colonel Carolyn Fox, and Commander, Pilot, all kind of things. Acting Governor Roach, morning. Delegate Plaskett, former Delegate Christensen, Senators Genevieve Whitaker, Senator Franklin Johnson, Senator Marvin Blyden, Governor's Cabinet, Administrator Sanes, Honoree Angel Mejito Diaz Jr., and we hear a little bit more about him as we go through the ceremony today. Family, friends, well-wishers, good morning. Today, on this Veterans Day, I join all Virgin Islanders and our nation in thanking those whose service and sacrifice have helped to shape our territory and country, what it is today. Thank you, veterans, for your unselfish placing your lives on the line for our freedom. Today, as the team says, we are honoring those that support us. Our men and women were ordinary individuals, ordinary people, until they heard the call of duty and answered it. Our veterans left their families, their homes, their lives, not for recognition or fame, or even for the honor that we're bestowing upon them today. They fought to protect our country and maintain our way of life. As we honor our veterans and remember their great deeds, let us also pause to salute those who are currently fighting for our freedom. Veterans Day isn't just for veterans. It is a day for all Virgin Islanders. A day to remember why our brave men and women were fighting for all of us. Their bravery began the journey of protecting our freedom and the freedom of future generations. So on this day, and every day, on behalf of a grateful community, I say thank you to every man and woman who has ever worn the uniform. I wanted to say thank you to those who selflessly secured our promise throughout history. I also want to say a heartfelt thank you to the families whose service and sacrifice also matters. I've been on that side of the house. And again, I always say that the family members serve even time with the service men and women. Those phone calls, those late night anxiety is always difficult for you to be able to pick up that phone and answer it, not knowing what to expect. So again, I want to thank the families for their contribution. Today, we're honoring a great individual, Angel Mejito Diaz Jr. When you talk about, please, a round of applause for Angel. When you talk about individuals that serve selfishly, unselfishly, you're talking about Angel. And even after leaving the military, he served in the Virgin Islands Police Department. I wouldn't want to go nowhere else but with this guy. He cleared the pathway, and it made it easy for us to follow. We called on him when he was in the police department along with other police officers, the A-team, because he took his job serious. He was very committed, and I think he's most deserving of this honor today and this recognition. So again, Angel, I want to thank you for your service. To the people of the Virgin Islands, I want to thank you for your service in the Virgin Islands Police Department and wish you well. I believe it was the 35th President of the United States, John F. Kennedy, that said it best. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. May God continue to bless the men and women who have stood and continue to stand on the front lines for all of us and bring us hope for a peaceful future. God bless you all. God bless this beautiful Virgin Islands. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator Novell Francis. Next, we'll have the introduction of the keynote speaker by Comrade Azalea Macedon of Post 85, sorry.
Greetings to all in attendance, those listening and viewing via social media as well. Welcome. Today, on this Veterans Day, 11th November 2021, I deliver to you a brief bio sketch of our keynote speaker, Specialist Santiago. Mishiriska Ayani Santiago, born to Mistress Nishma and Mr. Jonathan Santiago on 13th September 2000 on the island of St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands, is the eldest of Mr. and Mistress Santiago's 3 children. Specialist Santiago attended and graduated the St. Croix Educational Complex High School, CTEC, and the Career Technical School in June of 2018 with honors. Upon graduating high school, Specialist Santiago raised that hand, signed that line, and joined the Virgin Islands Army National Guard and was off to basic training and advanced individual training, AIT. February 2019, Specialist Santiago made it through military training at none other than Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. In less than a year, Specialist Santiago was attached and deployed with her unit, the 661st Military Police Detachment, to Qatar in October 2019. While deployed, Specialist Santiago began working towards her Associates of Health Science degree, and in January of 2022, Specialist Santiago will acquire her associate's degree with aspirations to earn her bachelor's. Currently, Specialist Santiago is employed at the Virgin Islands Army National Guard as an accounting technician at the USPFO, the United States Property and Fiscal Office at our Bethlehem Armory on St. Croix. Specialist Santiago's awards and decorations include the Armed Forces Reserve Medal, the Armed Forces Service Medal, Armed Service Ribbon, Global War on Terrorism Expeditionary Medal, the NCO Professional Development Ribbon, Overseas Service Ribbon, the Army Achievement Medal, the DC Presidential Inauguration Support Ribbon, the Virgin Islands Army Service Ribbon, the Army Reserve Component Achievement Medal, and prayerfully, many more years of service medals, awards, and ribbons to come. Ladies and gentlemen, I now turn the time over to Specialist Irishka Santiago.
Good morning. Good morning, Honorable Chargenza A. Roach, Esquire, Lieutenant Governor, Virgin Islands of the United States. Honorable Stacy E. Plaskett, Virgin Islands Delegate to Congress. Honorable Novo E. Francis, Vice President, 43rd Legislature of the Virgin Islands, Mr. Patrick Farrell, State Director, Virgin Islands Office of Veterans Affairs, and other distinguished guests. My name is Ireshka Santiago, and as you guys already know, I was born and raised on the island of St. Croix. Growing up, I didn't necessarily see myself joining the military. However, I saw the military as an opportunity that involved educational benefits. So I decided to join the Virgin Islands Army National Guard. Upon graduating from the St. Croix Educational Complex in 2018, I joined the Guard as a military police officer in the 661st Military Police Detachment. After graduating from basic training and advanced individual training, I learned my unit was in the process of mobilizing for a deployment. At some point, I knew I would be deployed, but I never envisioned being deployed so soon. I graduated from military training in February of 2019, and by October of 2019, it was wheels up to Camp Asalea located in Qatar. In all honesty, I was a bit upset. I had set plans for myself after graduation to dive headfirst into my education. But one thing I learned from training was that plans change, and the best that I can do is accept, adapt, and make the best out of it. So I did. I was a bit fearful. When many hear deployment, they automatically assume danger. I was one of those people. But I put my trust in God first and foremost, and to the comrades who, throughout my deployment, became more like a family. On the deployment, my unit was responsible for the inner perimeter security of Camp Asalea. As a military police officer on Camp Asalea, my duties included, but were not limited to, patrolling, enforcing camp rules, securing important buildings, preventing crime, and responding to emergencies. We basically made sure the base and the soldiers of the base were safe and secured. On deployment, I improved on my time management skills as well as my communication skills. I was able to learn and experience a new culture in a foreign country. There's this quote by an unknown author which states, "What we plan for ourselves isn't always what life has planned for us." What I had planned for myself was not what life had planned for me. So every time things don't go as I've planned, I remind myself of this quote, which allows me to say to you today, as upset or fearful as I was then, I would not change 1 second of it. Usually, when many of us think of a veteran, it is someone 2 or 3 times my age. But I stand before you today on their shoulders with the greatest respect and admiration to each one of you who served before me. On the flip side, not all veterans see combat. However, everyone who has served in the military have experienced a readiness to make that sacrifice of selfless service. Anyone can show support and appreciation by hiring a veteran, visiting a veteran in a Veteran Affairs healthcare facility, or donating to a veteran service organization such as American Legion or Disabled American Veterans, just to name a few. Companies should understand that hiring a veteran is a good business practice. We are individuals who truly understand commitment. When members of the Guard and Reserves deploy, I ask that you please ensure that our civilian careers do not suffer. A special thank you goes out to Mr. Angel Diaz and LaReine Chicken Shack for allowing veterans to enjoy their delicious food free of charge every Veterans Day. Another special thank you goes out to any other businesses that show their token of appreciation to veterans on this day. Veterans have sacrificed a lot for our freedom, security, and for what's known to be the greatest nation on earth. We must and we will continue to remember, honor, appreciate, and support them. As a 4-year member of the Virgin Islands Army National Guard, I am thankful and honored to be addressing you today, as probably one of the youngest veterans actively serving within the United States Virgin Islands. I do not take this honor, nor my service obligation lightly. I would like to thank and salute all veterans and their family members from all war eras for their sacrifices to our country. We don't ask for much, nor do we want to be labeled as special class citizens, but benefits are a mere good gesture compared to the financial and human cost of being in service. I am not a hero, but a veteran, and I would like to think that I am a positive example to my peers and a role model for the generation behind of me. I would like to thank everyone for being here today, and again, I am greatly appreciative for this opportunity. God bless you all, and God bless our veterans. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and give her a round of applause. As she stated, a young veteran, our guest speaker today. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Next, we'll have a musical selection by the 73rd Army Band. So.
Testing. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, as we swear allegiance to a land that's free, let us all be grateful to a land so free, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. America, America, God sheds his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood. From sea to shining sea.
Hello, hello. Again, let's give the 73rd Army Band a round of applause. Shows our band are flexible. I was trying to get the trooper's name, but they didn't give it to me. So we'll get that after, but thank you, thank you. Next, we'll have the introduction of the honoree by Segondino Roman Cruz, as I said, the area vice commander, but he's also the commander of Post 102, Mid-Island.
Good morning again. Close. The person I am about to present to you is no stranger to us. A young man who grew up here. He has served our young generation with pride. A veteran who served our nation. He served in the U.S. Army 82nd Airborne Division, a term of 4 years active and 4 years in the reserve. He returned to us and joined the police department and served for over 22 years. His service didn't stop there. He became a member of the American Legion by joining the Enrique Romero Nieves Post 102. Continues his service to the community, and you can see where he visiting. He provides for those that visit the island with these delicious meals, as you all know, it's known to us as the Chicken Shack. He's been married for 30 years to Carmen Diaz, and he is a proud father of two. Two children that have also followed his footsteps, one joining the Army in active duty presently, and his daughter also in the Navy. Ladies and gentlemen, you will be able to read more of his biography in the booklet. I now present to you Mr. Angel Emilio Millito Diaz, Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will ask that the platform guests please join me in front of the stage as we're going to present something to Mr. Diaz. If there's any family members out there with him, we'll ask for you to join us in front. So platform guests, you could, while I speak a couple minutes about him, you could go ahead and go to the front of the stage so we can have a great photo opportunity. No, Diaz, you don't go yet. I want the people to be able to see you. We're going to go down together. Don't worry. Ladies and gentlemen, I know after we announced Robert, come. Robert, come up here. Come. Robert, come. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Angel's business partner. So I'm going to invite him to the stage as well for a second. Give him a round of applause as well. Yeah, come on, you can stand up here with us because, even though we call the name Angel, we know it's a team. So we bring you up here with him as well. Ladies and gentlemen, like I was saying, a lot of people probably wondered, well, you having a Veterans Day ceremony and you having it at the Chicken Shack. What is that all about? So I will clear the air for the public to understand. The gentleman that we are honoring today, as you know, not only a veteran, but also someone that supports veterans year in and year out. We felt that if we brought the ceremony this time to the veteran, we will allow some more of his supporters to be in attendance. And also, I know you have some folks back there working, and I want them to be able to hear and see, because as I mentioned earlier, I know it's a team effort. Just like I have my pillars of the Office of Veterans Affairs, I know those are your pillars because they keep you up and above. So at this time, I'm going to ask Miss Gordon to please come around and bring this plaque so I can read it. And I will tell you, you calling this thing Chicken Shack. I know dirty chicken. Huh? Somebody say amen out there? All right. We know the real supporters know dirty chicken, right? So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to present this plaque today to Mr. Angel Diaz, and I will read it. It's a lot of words. Who did this? It reads, to feed someone is one of the easiest and most important ways to keep someone happy. Yeah. Mr. Diaz, the LaReine Chicken Shack under your leadership has done just that for the veteran community of St. Croix. Veterans Day after Veterans Day, you make this happen without failure. This is an example of placing others before self. I can't think of any other way to be more impactful to a person. Whether it was instilled in you from your parents or from your military service, it is well noted and much appreciated. The island of St. Croix is in a better place, in part, because of you and your team. It is our honor to extend congratulations to you on your well-deserved recognition on this Veterans Day 2021. Your commitment to the United States Army during your tenure and to your community after serving is witnessed by a sea of grateful Virgin Islanders. You stayed the course because you are true to the mission. Serving your nation, country, and territory is not a small task, but a task that you have done and continue to do honorably. To your family, we say not only congratulations on your behalf, but also a heartfelt thank you. We commend you for being understanding of his commitment and willingness to serve. His service to country and service to community may have caused many voids along the way, but we are hopeful that he was able to make up for that very important time. Angel, on behalf of the people of the Virgin Islands and the veteran community that you are a part of, please accept our congratulations on being selected as the Veterans Day honoree for Veterans Day 2021 on the island of St. Croix. It is because of you, in part, why we as Virgin Islanders have the freedom we have today. Thank you for your service and congratulations. Signed, Patrick D. Farrell, Director. Just join us in the front. We have a photo op with the rest of the distinguished platform guests. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to allow the honoree to say just a couple words. We're going to move away from the program just a little bit. Mr. Diaz?
Good morning, Lieutenant Governor Tagazin Roach. Good morning, Delegate to Congress Stacey Plaskett. Good morning, Senator Francis, Senator Johnson, the other senators around in attendance. Good morning to our former delegate, Donna Christensen, Mom. Whew. Good morning to all in attendance, but a special good morning to all the veterans. I just got a few words. I'm overwhelmed with gratitude in receiving this honor today here, especially here at the Chicken Shack. Director Farrell, thank you. Thank you for the support you give to all the veterans. And I want to thank you all who are here and sharing this occasion with myself, family, and friends. I'm a little bit overwhelmed. As I stand here and receive this honor, I also thank all the veterans who unselfishly place their life on the line for our freedom. Those veterans, men and women, that heard the call for duty, answer it. They left their family, they left their home, they left their lives. They fought to protect our country and our way of life. And thank you for that. But our veterans have always installed freedom, security, and a great nation on earth. And there's no price for that. So let us salute those who are right now fighting for our freedom. And let's have a moment of silence for those that give the ultimate sacrifice. I want to thank the staff at the LaReine Chicken Shack for always staying present and supporting the community, and especially our veterans. I want to thank Cecil Simmons, our right hand at LaReine Chicken Shack, who make all this, assistant Mr. Farrell, and for always being here supporting Shack 100%. Thank you, bro. But I want to give a special thank to my brother, my business partner, Robert Liguelo. El Abuelo came the idea a while back. He said, hey, bro, you were a veteran. Let's do this. I say, excuse my language, hell yeah, let's do it. For our veteran, anything. Because that's the least we could do for our veterans. And Robbie, thank you for your support and for always taking care and looking out for our customers and our veterans. I'm missing one, my other half, Carmen Diaz. I gotta give her thanks for her support, guidance, patience. And right now she's at Call of Duty because my son called since he's on his job. So she's taking care of the grand. So I'm leaving tomorrow to assist on that Call of Duty. But you all, the community, everybody in attendance, thank you guys for always supporting LaReine Chicken Shack. And we always be here. We love our community, and we will continue to support. And may God bless you all. May God bless the U.S. Virgin Islands, and may God bless America. Thank you.
Thank you, our honoree for the day. And if you think that when the VI National Guard played before we introduced the honoree was a mistake, no, it was not. It was by design. And I will tell you, I have to recognize Specialist Alexander it is, right? That beautiful voice. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up. Yes, I am a vocalist as well, so I'm going to make sure my vocalists get their just due. All right? So thank you again for that. And, of course, they are about to give us another selection. But before I do that, I also want to recognize one of our partners in the business, and that's the business of enhancing the lives of veterans. We do have a representative here today from the VA Caribbean Healthcare System, known as the Community-Based Outpatient Clinic, but better known to us as the VA Clinic. Ms. Wanda Centeno, thank you so very much for being here, and we appreciate you. I could call Wanda anytime, and Wanda answers that phone to make sure all veterans are taken care of. So I want to publicly say thank you. All right? So, ladies and gentlemen, I think right now we do have a rendition by the VI Army National Guard at this time.
Yes, again, let's give and their name is the Melodious Saxes. So let's give them a round of applause. All part of the band. And just a note, Sasha Alexander also plays an instrument, and she was under tutelage of Stanley Jacobs. So you know she's good with the kwelbe and the old-time music. Next, we'll have remarks by the Honorable Stacey E. Plaskett, Virgin Islands Delegate to Congress. Give her a round of applause.
It's on? Thank you. Good morning. To the Lieutenant Governor, Acting Governor Tregenza Roach, Senator Novell Francis, Mr. Farrell, Director Farrell, to all of the senators, cabinet members, and of course to my predecessor, Donna Christensen, and to all of our veterans, guests, and family. Good morning to you all. I'm so grateful that we had some music prelude that interrupted between myself and Mr. Diaz speaking, because I think he has some political aspirations. He was very, very good, right? Off the cuff, right? Today we are gathered to pay homage to an extraordinary group of Virgin Islanders, to recognize them for their bravery, and to thank them for their prior and current service to our great nation. Virgin Islanders have long been among the first to answer America's call to duty. In some cases, fighting in defense of this great nation before we are officially a part of it. Virgin Islands veterans' exceptional history of service to this great nation is unrivaled. It is a fact that servicemen and women from our territory play an integral role in America's present-day military readiness. I'd like to also recognize the efforts of our local Veterans Administration and Veterans Caribbean Health System for the new changes in the territory thus far. On August 5th of 2021, Veterans Affairs Healthcare System signed a contract for air charter services to and from the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico to support the travel needs of our veterans. Very important. Importantly, the community-based outpatient clinic on St. Thomas will now be under new management through a private contract with Primary Care Solutions, owned by an Air Force veteran with disability. The clinic will operate similar to a primary care clinic, but this pilot program is designed to gauge if improved healthcare services for veterans may be obtained from a private provider. This move will also open the window for a part-time psychiatrist who will be able to give much-needed support to our veterans with PTSD and other mental and behavioral health conditions. Veterans in the Virgin Islands, we know, do not get the level of services that they deserve. This has been a long-standing issue, and I and others are continuing and committed to changing that. We recognize and understand that the struggles and needs of the veterans in our territory are many. I've co-sponsored legislation in Congress to establish an advisory committee within the Department of Veterans Affairs that will give veterans in the insular areas in the territories one more way to put their concerns and needs front and center at the department. This legislation recently received attention in committee hearings, and I'll continue to push for its passage. My team and I remain committed to working towards improved attention, services, healthcare, and benefits for veterans here in the Virgin Islands. Yesterday, in discussions with Congresswoman Jennifer Gonzalez-Colon, we talked about additional support that is coming to veterans, that we are working on a Supreme Court case, a case where veterans in the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico will challenge the services that they get, not being unfairly treated here in the territory. Thank you. Additionally, I am the primary sponsor of a legislation called Hire a Hero, which gives tax credits to small businesses that would hire those in the National Guard and the Ready Reserve. We know that it's difficult for small businesses to make the commitment to have those individuals in their service, and we want to support them and incentivize them in hiring individuals from our National Guard and our reservists. Pleased to say that the military and retirees veterans receiving disability payments from the Department of Veterans Affairs will see the largest increase, 5.9%, on their paychecks for 2022, triggered by an annual inflation adjustment to the federal cost of living allowance. As we mark this Veterans Day observance, the second one during our COVID-19 pandemic, together as a team, we stand ready to serve. Currently, we are pressing hard for President's Build Back Better bill that will increasingly strengthen the access to mental health, suicide prevention programs, and provide diverse care and benefits to all veterans. The VA, under the President Biden's legislation, would be supplied with $150 million to address and modernize the backlog of unscanned veterans' records. This plan will provide the VA with more funding to have more veteran records available on day one of receipt of a claim. Furthermore, that same legislation under Build Back Better, after many years of persistent and tireless advocacy on the part of the territories, would finally extend the Supplemental Security Income Program, SSI, to residents of the Virgin Islands and the U.S. territories. Since coming to Congress, I've been advocating for the non-discrimination of American citizens living in the Virgin Islands and other territories to be afforded these benefits. I know that previous members of Congress representing the territories have been tireless in this fight as well. Gaining the benefit now of SSI for small territories would be a monumental step towards equal access to anti-poverty benefits and will help a number of Virgin Islanders to put food on their tables and would be beneficial to easing the financial pressures some families are facing. This bill has not passed as yet, but we're prayerful. Hopefully by Thanksgiving or shortly thereafter, we are met with passage of this transformative plan because this bill would benefit Virgin Islands Medicare as well, who will be able to benefit from the expansion of coverage for hearing services. The Build Back Better Act has the potential to be one of the most significant investments coming to the organizations like the Office of Veterans Affairs, American Legion, Methodist Outreach Center, Wounded Warrior Program, the staff of the VA clinics, individuals like Austin Callwood and Alvin Delmaida, and countless others who have volunteered their precious time to assist our veterans with navigating the VA system. We must also take this time to humbly honor and respect our Gold Star families. They truly know firsthand the meaning of sacrifice and service. I would also be in big trouble if I did not include my staff, who have been strong advocates for our veterans during my tenure, some of whom are veterans themselves. And finally, today, we honor the families who staunchly support the VI's veterans. We thank you for your support to our veterans in giving us the freedom, security, and the greatest nation on earth. It's impossible to put a price on that. We must remember and appreciate them. To all who have put their lives on the line in defense of our country, in defense of our way of life, thank you. God bless you all for being here. God bless our veterans, our Virgin Islands, and God bless America. Mr. Diaz, if you would come up for just a moment. You mean so much to so many of us. You and your family have been here for so many of us in so many ways. And I know you've been honored before, but we wanted to give you a certificate of special congressional recognition presented to you, as well as LaReine Chicken Shack, in recognition of outstanding and invaluable service to the community. Thank you.
And before I introduce the next speaker, I would like to make a quick introduction of the Governor's Chief of Staff that's here with us, Mr. Carl Knight. Thank you for coming and supporting us veterans. Next, we'll have remarks by the Honorable Tregenza A. Roach, Esquire, Lieutenant Governor, Virgin Islands of the United States. Give him a round of applause.
Thank you. You may be seated. Thanks. Good morning. Thank you. Is this on? Okay. Thank you, Mistress of Ceremony. Good. Okay. No, it's very loud. Good morning, everyone. I bring greetings to you as well from Governor Albert Bryan, who is out of the territory, who we know would be joining us this morning if he were here. Good morning to the Vice President of the Senate, Senator Novell E. Francis, and to Senators Frankie Johnson, Genevieve Whitaker, Senator Marvin Blyden, and any others who may be joining us that I'm not aware of. Good morning to our delegate to Congress, Congresswoman Stacey Plaskett, and to the representatives of all the branches of the armed forces who are here with us today, the members of the Governor's Cabinet, including the Adjutant General and Cabinet department heads that are here with us this morning, to our honoree, Mr. Angel Emilio Diaz Jr. and to his family, to all of our veterans, ladies and gentlemen. I first would like to commend the members of the St. Croix Educational Complex Junior ROTC who joined us here this morning. I had the great privilege of driving up and watching them from the car window as they were running through their drills, and just thinking what fine examples they are of our young people across St. Croix, St. Thomas, and St. John. And I would also like to thank the Army, the 73rd Army Band, for entertaining us this morning and for providing music that was very moving as we commemorate a very auspicious occasion that we also want to tinge with a hint of celebration. We began the observance of and to former Congresswoman Donna Christensen, who I had the privilege of having dinner with last night. Good morning. We began the celebration of our veterans Sunday past on St. John, and it really gives us an opportunity to extend the observance from one day, because we all agree that veterans are persons we should be celebrating every day that we have for the sacrifices that they have made on our behalf. And I was very happy to participate in the ceremonies there. I like to make sure that I thank everybody up front, and so I really want to give, in that regard, a special note of thanks to the Office of Veterans Affairs, its employees, the young ladies there joining us in orange who put together these events pretty much seamlessly. And I want to thank our Director of Veterans Affairs. And those of you who might have listened to the program on Sunday would note in the governor's remarks that he thanked Director Farrell for his service, because unfortunately for the Veterans Affairs, for the veterans, or for the territory, this really will be the last Veterans Day ceremony, well, the one this afternoon in St. Thomas not included, but the last opportunity that he will be participating as the Director of Veterans Affairs, because he will be moving on for that office and from that office. And although he will be still in a capacity to serve the people of the territory, I too wanted to commend him for the good work that he has done and to applaud his constant advocacy on the part of our veterans. Thank you, Director Farrell. See, that was good. You didn't even have to ask for a round of applause. Thank you so much. I want to thank the honoree, Mr. Angel Emilio Diaz. I love the name Emilio, so I get a chance to say it a couple of times this morning. And I was so impressed both with your remarks and with the biography, because it is a description of really a life of distinguished service in such a young package, incidentally, right? And I couldn't think of so diverse a range of service to nation and community as to jumping out of parachutes on one end and with parachutes out of planes on one end, and then serving delicious meals that every single person probably out there in the audience, every single person on this platform, and probably all those within the range of my voice have had the opportunity to share in. And so we are grateful for that, and we're grateful for the work that you have done as well on behalf of veterans and how you have supported them through your various efforts. We really appreciate that good work. I looked at the biography and just for a few minutes, just took in the range again from serving in the theater of war, in the Gulf War, to grooming children to follow in a life of service as well, to grooming persons in our police department, both by his work as an officer and through the training academy. And of course, from my own personal standpoint, his work in the executive security unit that provides dignitary protection to the delegate, to myself, to the governor, service that we trust and respect and regard quite highly. So I thank you for all of that. And I thank your family, because it's important. I think Senator Francis underscored that in his remarks as well, about how grateful we are to the families of Mr. Diaz and of our veterans who share their loved ones with us. In thinking about what I would say today, in the brief opportunity that we each have to speak, I looked at a few pieces written about service, and I was trying to contextualize the commitment that a person must make to put their lives on the line in defense of country, in defense of ideas, in defense of ideals. Many of us are not willing to do that. You know, we're not really even willing sometimes to pick up a piece of garbage to keep our islands clean, or to voice an opinion, or to get out in a protest to defend some idea or to advocate for some idea. Some of us are just these armchair kind of warriors that hit keyboards and send messages through social media. Not that that isn't important, but when you contextualize the service that a person commits to where their life is on the line, we have to be ever grateful for that kind of commitment. And thank you. And in my reading, I came across this quote, one sentence, just one sentence, very, very profound. And it's from an Argentine writer by the name of Jose Norosky. And he says, in war, there are no unwounded soldiers. In war, there are no unwounded soldiers. And that reminds us that even when we see a person who may be physically intact in every way that we are intact, with no visible wounds, with no visible scars, that war, and that those who prepare for it, and that those who are available in the service of their country and people for it, carry scars within their person that are not visible. And that reminds us that the services that veterans require are diverse. And that's why I'm so grateful for the work of our delegate on behalf of our veterans and how she continues to remind the nation that this unincorporated territory of the United States of America has supported its ideals in every conflict and in numbers disproportionate to our population. And that is something we must always remember. And I really want to thank our keynote speaker, Specialist Santiago, for reminding us about the diversity of acts of kindness and acts of service that we can provide to veterans. Whether it is providing a meal to somebody who is homebound, whether it is saying a kind word to somebody who suffers from a debilitating mental illness and now is maybe homeless on our streets, whether it is employing a veteran to show the nature of our gratitude and the nature of our commitment. And so I thank you for that. I thank you for those reminders. And again, I thank the staff of the Veterans Affairs for the work that you continue to do. Some of the accomplishments that we noted in terms of healthcare, the commitments of our various branches of our government, our legislature, who has provided revenue to support free tuition for veterans at the university, for monies that we set aside for veterans in support of home ownership, but constantly recognizing that there is more that we can do, and instilling in others the willingness and the commitment for each as a community and each as a government to continue to work tirelessly on behalf of our veterans. And so today, as I leave you, I want to thank all the veterans across the territory, all the veterans across the country, all of those who have served in any branch of these armed forces or have supported them in any way. I say today, God bless you for that commitment. God bless you for that service. God bless the Virgin Islands and its people. God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Again, thank you, Lieutenant Governor Roach. And in closing, I'd like all the veterans to stand, because some are in uniform, some are not in uniform, some in civilian clothes. All veterans around, those that cannot stand, please raise your hand so the folks know who we are. And I'd like to share 4 quick facts as the Lieutenant Governor transitions into my points. Keep standing. 50% of the veterans experience homelessness who also live with a mental illness like PTSD. Number 2, 2 million number of female veterans who are receiving disability compensation. Number 3, 5.06 million, the number of veterans receiving disability compensation. And lastly, 19.5 million, the approximate number of veterans in the United States. So again, veterans, we are here. We thank you for your service. Again, thanks to all who participated in the program today, the veterans, the family, and friends for joining us in this ceremony. Please stay safe and healthy, follow all COVID protocols, and I will now have the benediction by Chaplain Comrade George Turlan. Legionnaires and cover.
Let us go forth into the world in peace and dedicated to your service. O Lord, let us hold fast that which is good. Render to no man evil for evil. Strengthen the faint-hearted. Support the weak. Help the needy and the afflicted, and honor all men. Let us love and serve the Lord, rejoicing in the power of his Spirit. And may God's blessing be upon us and remain with us always. Amen.